Freeman here. I mentioned that I was going to kind of share my process of chicken processing, I suppose, butchering. First, I want to start out with, I want to show you this tractor I built. Now, this is very similar to the Joel Salatin tractor that everybody knows about. I did some things differently. I used a wide crown stapler on my joints so that I didn't have to me, it looked neater. And on the top, I had these big sheets I got from a fella. These big sheets of plastic I had hinged for doors. They're really light, which obviously makes a big difference on these tractors. And then I caged the entire top, minus the door spots. And this place is caged as well to keep critters out, but I put like a Tyvek type material on top of it for if it's raining so they could get out of the rain if they wanted to. And obviously that's light as well. So it's the Joel Salatin basic design with just some modifications. And I think if you follow him at all, I think, you know, he would be in favor of you know, just do what you can do and get started. So I've raised chickens quite a few times. This is the first time I use a tractor, and I'm telling you what, I cannot believe the difference that it made raising them in a tractor. I first started raising them in a normal pen. It was a mess, you know, crap everywhere. Just anybody who's raised meat chickens knows what I mean. They're disgusting. So I thought, well, I'll fix that. So I built these pens over here, which are off the ground, wired all around, wired on the bottom. And I did that because I thought, well, that's a smart idea. The poop will fall down on the ground. I can clean it out from underneath the pens. The birds stay clean. They can't move around a lot. And I thought that was a good idea, except for they just don't do well in an environment like that. They don't last as long. They're not as healthy. They're not as strong. And I was amazed. I even had several birds this year that I noticed were starting to get, you know, you can just tell they're not doing well. You can see it in their eyes. And I would get them out of the pen, these pens back here, and I would put them back in the tractor. And I actually had some that, you know, I wouldn't say they came back to life, but they turned around for the better. And I never lost one chicken out of this tractor. And as far as for health's sake goes. And so anyhow, big fan of this. I'm not going to use the pens anymore. I'm not like an animal PETA, you know, but I don't like to see an animal suffer. It doesn't need to, you know. I believe in being humane. So anyhow, maybe there'll be rabbit pens. I don't know. We'll see. So my process of butchering chickens is pretty simple. I generally have help. I don't do it myself. I could do it myself. It would just be way longer. This morning I had my dad, my son, and a fellow from church came, and he brought 12 chickens. We did those as well. But I try to get one thing I've learned and also was told or heard somewhere is to keep everything close. You know, not have a bunch of movement. And so my pot would be burning here. I have a regular, a pot that I scald them in. And I would love to have a commercial scalder, but, you know, they're super expensive, so maybe one day. But I take them from there, and this year I have made a setup of 5 cones, and that way you can get them in the cone and get them bleeding out, and it's just a little bit streamlines the process. I can take that down and then put it away, and it's, you know, I can clean it and all that. But what was nice I noticed is that I watched a Salatin video or a video of him on maybe somebody else's channel, and he was showing how they just slit the jugular instead of cut the whole head off. You know, for years I would just cut the whole head off. Well, you know, the bird would tense, and to be honest, it was just a little more grisly than I started kind of enjoy. So I followed his instruction or whomever's video channel it was on, and we went to just slitting the jugular and letting them bleed out very calmly. And I butchered quite a few last week as well, and I'm telling you, it made a huge difference on the taste of the meat. Not the taste so much as the texture. And I was really, really a fan of that. So we bring them from the tractor to the cones, which the cones I've made out of stovepipe. These puppies are expensive. Just make your own. You know, that's my world. I have one over there that was bought. Doesn't work as well as the ones I made. So, make do. Anyhow, slit their throats, let them bleed out till they're expired. Scald them. We do, everybody has what they do, but for our scalding setup, 145-ish right in there. Dip them several times. My plucker's put away, but you can tell where it was. We pluck them. 2 at a time works best for us. 3 would probably be fine, but if you just do one bird, it doesn't seem to pluck as well. Do that. I bring them over to here, to this table. I clean it with bleach. Everything's cleaned. I have these full of water. I gut them, chop their heads off, all that. Put them in here. I separate all my chickens out. As far as I cut the thighs off, I separate from the legs, I cut the wings, I de-breast them, and then so I'm not super picky on whether the skin rips or anything like that, because it doesn't really affect my processes. But like I said, I'm no Andrew Tate. You can do it the way you want to do it. And then I just do that, put them in these buckets, kind of let the body temp come down to a normal temp, probably whatever water comes out of your well. They chill a little bit, and then I have this right here, and they are in this water, which is ice, and I'm getting ready to fill these up with ice and section them out. So that's the process. It's a little gruesome. You get blood and all that, and flies. They love blood, but that's what I do, and I love it. I love getting together with family. I love to get together with friends. I found this pot the other day for $10. It's an old pot, but it's a huge pot. I don't know the gallon. I don't think it's quite 10 gallon, maybe 8 gallon. But today I'm going to make, as I cut chickens up, I'm going to make chicken stock. And I'm going to make white chicken stock, and then I'm going to take some of the carcasses in, and I'm going to roast them, and I'm going to try to make some roasted chicken stock. So, interesting thing that I think is I've learned from other people, you just have to do it. Just start, try it. And, like these pens, they were a flop. I had good intentions. I thought it made sense. I thought it was a good idea. But they flopped, and I'm back to the tractor that probably should have been started with. So I guess learn from people's mistakes, believe them if they've done it many times. And I'm telling you, free man means chicken that you raise yourself. Now, again, I'm not Andrew Tate, so that doesn't mean you're not a man if you don't raise your own chicken. But it's a good feeling, and it's nice when you sit down, and for some reason when you raise your own chicken, you really like to eat those leftovers. You don't like them to go to waste. So, hey, free man out. That's my process. Always have a bucket of bleach water there to keep things sanitary. And, hey, take it easy. Enjoy chicken farming. My goal is to do more of it. And once I've perfected it, which I'm getting closer to, maybe get a little better equipment here. I wouldn't mind raising them for sale, but right now I'm just trying to get it figured out myself. And there you go. Have a good one.